All right, apologies. Didn't realize that my camera wasn't on for the first little bit of this video. All I've done so far is put in the first little layer of trees here with the fan brush. And I'll go ahead and I'll just put one more little one in there to show you how we do it. So I'm just starting with cadmium orange. I know it's very bright. We got some yellows for a glaze that'll come down, kind of cover it up a little bit. Put a little more detail there. So to paint one of my trees, I just pull down a little bit for a straight line. Then I start with the corner of the brush and eventually work the entire brush in there. Starting with the corner, that's a little top of our evergreens. And just widen it out as we go down. If you want to fill in a few of the little gaps here, I feel like that white shouldn't really be showing through. I think this is pretty dense. Then you can gently pull across to kind of even her out. Okay. I clean that brush. Acrylic dries quick on your brushes. You don't want that paint to ruin them. Okay, so now we got a big old 2-inch brush. I'm gonna leave this area roughly here white. That's where our sun is gonna be. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this lemon yellow. You might notice these yellows are very close. It's lemon yellow, brilliant yellow. I didn't realize how close those would be when I put them on. So you can get away with just one or the other, really. I have deep yellow, a cadmium orange, got a red ochre and a phthalo green. Those are gonna be used to, we want the green for our close trees. We'll want to dull it down, which is what that red ochre is for, kind of desaturate it. And then we got 2 piles of black, 2 piles of white. One pile for if we just need straight white or straight black, and the other smaller piles are for mixing. So we're going to take that lemon yellow and we're going to mix in some of that titanium white. Get it really bright. Kind of paint in the outline of where our sun is going to be here. Not filling in the middle. I want that to be white. In fact, a lot of this yellow here might end up painting over with that white. This is really just to give us an idea of where that big old sun is in our sky. It could be sunrise, it could be sunset. That is completely up to you. Now we're just going to go into some of that lemon yellow. Just straight lemon yellow. Get a little water in there, not a whole lot. You don't want more than 25 or 30% because it can really mess up how well that color binds to the canvas if you get more than that. We're going with that lemon yellow around the edge. Make sure to run over it multiple times to pull it flat. Brush most of that paint left off. And we're just going to kind of whisk some of this color in. Brush some of that color in, if not whisk. It's a paintbrush, not an egg mixer. Kind of soften those lines out. A little more lemon yellow. I think I want a little more of that lemon yellow around the edge here. Really brilliant. And we're kind of, again, pulling it down over those trees to soften them out. If you get a few streaks of color in there, don't worry about it. It just kind of adds to that misty look in the sky. Just make sure you're pulling in the direction of that sun. Let's get a little more water in there. As you can see, there's a little difference between that brilliant yellow and that lemon yellow, just not a whole lot. Again, kind of pull along the edge to soften that line. Again, I want a little more water. And this area, you can already tell, isn't looking quite as misty. Probably because we gave these trees, the paint over those trees, a little more time to dry. We can fix that. We got another layer of color to put in around the edge here anyway. But we can pull over those. Go through. Kind of finish softening this up. Right now I'm going to take a little bit of that deep yellow, mix it into that brilliant yellow. And right about here, add a little more to the sky. Not getting quite the mix I want there, so I'm going to just go in there with a little bit. There we go. And again, almost following the curve of the light rays around, and we can pull it over the trees again. Get a little more fade. Get a little color up there I don't want, so I'm just gonna clean the brush, work it right in. Okay. Now I'm going to mix a little of that cat orange into that yellow. And just sort of pat in. I think we need a little more orange in there. I'm painting a little more color at the bottom of these trees. Again, kind of following the general direction of the sun rays. A little more water. I'm gonna tighten this canvas down a little bit. I'm bouncing around too much, might be making a little too much noise. I'm watching to relax. I don't want the continual thumping of that canvas to mess it up. Okay, let's go ahead and go in. We're gonna go in with another layer of trees behind this one. What I want to do here is I'm going to take a little bit, just a touch of that phthalo green. Even that little touch was a little too much. It's a very strong color. I forget that, just how strong that is sometimes. I kind of want an orangey, kind of basically a brown with just brown that leans more towards yellow orange, but still with a slight hint of green in there. We can take a little white, lighten that up. That's a little too light. A little more green, a lot more orange. More of that yellow. Just kind of keep working at it till you get a color you want. I think I'm good right there. Maybe mix in a little of that yellow. All right. I want a little more orange in there, I think. Clean that. There. More orange than green. Okay. This is still, again, standing out, but we're still gonna go through and soften it up so it doesn't stand out as much. And don't forget to get a little variation in the height. Some of these shouldn't be perfectly even. This one might be standing a little taller. Punch in another little one right there. Not going to go all the way across with these, because these are definitely going to be blocked out by the big trees we have coming. I'm just going to go about 2/3 of the way across. And again, we don't need a whole lot of detail in these. Let's do one more. And then take some more of that color towards the bottom and pull down. Get our shade in there. Let's go ahead and get a little water in there to loosen her up. And again, kind of generally follow in the direction of the sun's rays. More water. And when you pull that acrylic flat, it dries pretty dang quick. Okay. Clean her off now. I'm going to pull some streaks down. These, I have an 1.5 inch brush on these for that. And again, we've got to go very, very gently. We don't want to lose all of that shape. But we do want it nice and soft in there. Pull up if you want to. You don't have to always pull from the top down. Pull some of that up. Maybe leave just a little detail at the top of those trees. Go ahead and really soften out the bottom here. Okay. Now I'm going to get another layer in there. I have this green color. It's a little bright. So I'm going to mix it with that brown and some black. A little more green showing through. Really dulled down. This layer is a little closer yet, so you can even use this. Oh, that's still too bright. Let's get some more black in there. There, that's better. So if you want, you can use this 1 inch here to get some of these next layer of trees. I am going to go back to my fan brush though. I just think it looks better. Do have one that's a little bit wider here than the other one I've been using, so I'm gonna go with that one. And again, none of these are gonna really have any highlight or shadow or any of that fun stuff we'll get to later. They're still gonna be really misty. A short feller there. His family doesn't give him as much water. Maybe his little seed landed in some rocky ground, so he can't get as much water and nutrients. But he's still growing and doing his best. That's what matters. That goes for you too. Don't compare yourself to the height, the success of the people around you. Doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're happy and you're trying. And that you like and subscribe to my channel. All right, that part isn't necessary, but it is appreciated. Okay, now we can go through. I'm gonna get more of this color again at the base of these trees. I'm gonna mix a little water in now. And with this acrylic, when you flatten it out when you're mixing it, it dries really quick. Much faster than oil. It's one of the benefits, but also one of the frustrating things about acrylic. You can use water or retardants to slow the drying time a little bit, though. Let you work and blend. That's the reason I always mist my canvas before I started. Hey, it helps the paint glide, but also keeps it from drying quite as quickly. Let's go ahead and pull up on some of these fellas again. And maybe leave the tops a little sharper. Get the indication of mist in there. I'm starting to pull some of that paint off. Usually when that happens, it's because I got a little too much water in there. So we'll mix up a little more of that green color. That might be too green. There, that's closer. We'll do it with a little teeny touch more black. Get in here. Pull across the bottom. Let's go ahead. Let's get in there with that 2-inch brush. Get some of that color over here too, where a baseline of our trees are gonna be. No, that's a slightly different color. That'll still work just fine. The trees are gonna be a lot greener once we get over there. Smooth that out a little bit more. There we go. Now let's go ahead. Going with a greenish black. Fill in the bottom. Okay. Gotta make sure you get every little nook and cranny. don't want to fill it with completely black. We're using sort of a dark, muted green so that we can have shadow areas on the trees that we have here that are even darker. You don't want your shadow being lighter than your background. It just doesn't look right. I think that might be a little too... We'll just put a little more out on the canvas. Work some of it into that color. A little bit of white, not a whole lot. We need more of that orange in there. Heck, let's get, oh, I'm gonna have to clean this brush something fierce. Gonna need a little more orange. Forget just how powerful that phthalo green is. That's looking better. I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera, but I can see slightly more brownish hue. There, that's what I want. So it'll also help the green stand out. All right, now we need, I'm gonna clean this brush quick. Well, this brush handle, I should say. The brush itself didn't get any paint on it, but the handle sure as heck did. Okay. Take a nice little soft. Find the softest one. There we go. I'm going to get a little more of that orange. A little deep yellow. Get the indication of some sun rays poking through here. We'll start with that deep yellow. Just kind of where your sun is. I'm gonna have to wait on that, I think. Still lifting that. Yep, okay. Patch that up a little bit. I think I need a little more the primary yellow. Very bright yellow. Not quite lemon yellow bright. Still pretty bright. Clean that brush. I think I am going to use a little lemon yellow. And I'll mix it with a little titanium white up there. If it doesn't match perfectly, don't sweat it. Gonna have some trees poking up through here anyways. Cover that uneven area up. And bring in a little bit of titanium white to brighten it a little bit. In fact, I want to make that sun a little bigger. So we're just gonna go with some titanium white right here in the middle. We'll take a few layers to brighten everything up. Get your first layer in there, smooth it out as much as you can, get rid of any texture. Get rid of any brush strokes. And then let the middle dry, but go ahead, go along the edge and smooth it out some. Pull in a little bit and pull out a little bit. Blend those edges. Okay, I think I need to mix a little. I see some areas up here where the sun rays aren't really working with me. They're a little too broken up, so let's clean that brush. Take a little, that primary yellow, brilliant yellow. I'm gonna work those out. Get a little more of that over here too. Apparently got some dark paint on that brush still. I'll just keep working at it, fixing it till it gets where we want it. Doesn't do any good to get angry, frustrated. Just keep working at it until you get it where you want it. Well, I have this brush, and that orange. I think I'm just gonna splotch in a little color in here. Not add a whole lot of shape to it. Just a transition behind these trees for the big ones we're gonna have. Doesn't really look like much right now, but it's not gonna need to. We got big trees going over it. This is just to get us a little variation in the background behind them. All right, I'm gonna take about a 15-20 minute break. Let this all dry. And then we'll be back to finish adding in these sunbeams where there's not gonna make us have to fix our sky. Be right back with you.